In part 1, up was a word that meant an improvement or something better. But in this lesson, up is going to mean something different. Divide or separate into parts. Well, how can up mean divide? Well, just watch this video of a cookie breaking. The woman is breaking the cookie. The cookie is moving up. As it breaks, it divides. Now we have two smaller cookies. Let's remember that. And now let's go. Number 1, break up. How's the book you're reading? Honestly, it's really challenging. It's hard to get through. How long is it? It's really long. I have to break it up into parts so I can process it and finish it. Here we have another phrasal verb, get through. Remember, I think of the word through like a tunnel. The tunnel in this situation is the book, and we have to move from the beginning of the book to the end of the book, just like going through a tunnel. The phrasal verb get through implies that it's a difficult thing to do. I have to break up the book into smaller sections. To divide something into smaller, more manageable parts. They decided to break up the project into phases to meet the deadline. I break up these lessons into different sections to study each phrasal verb separately. Just like our original cookie video, we start our lesson with break up. If you break a cookie into small parts, it's easier to eat. If you break a book into smaller parts, it's easier to read. We break up the book. Number 2, split up. Did you hear about J-Lo and Ben? No. Did something happen between them? What now? I can't believe it, but they're splitting up again and going their own separate ways. They'll be back together again by the end of the year. To go their own separate ways means to go in different directions. In this case, they're ending their relationship. To be back means to return. To be back together means to be together again. J-Lo and Ben split up again. To divide or break, in the sense of two things moving away from each other. The couple split up after 10 years together. For efficiency, they split up into smaller groups during the workshop. You probably learned the phrasal verb break up for ending relationships, but we also use split up. There's really no difference between these phrasal verbs in this context. Remember, in these cases, up means divide or separate. Number 3, divide up. This was the best Halloween ever. Yeah, we have so much candy. I'm so excited to eat it. But we only have one bag, so I'll take half and you take half, right? Of course, we're going to divide it all up, 50-50. Ever is a word in English that means in all of your life, in all of history. Have you ever is a common present perfect question that asks about your experiences in your entire life. The best something ever, like the best Halloween ever, means it's the best in all of history, in all of your life. We're going to divide up all the candy 50-50. To divide something into equal pieces in the sense of distribution. They divided up the work so everyone had something to do. The profits from the company were divided up according to the investment percentage. If up means divide, then why would we put these words together? Why not just the verb divide? Well, when we add the word up, it gives the idea that it's in equal parts. This is how we add some flavor to our language. Each word has its own flavor or personality. Number 4, chew up. How are your kids? They're doing great. My youngest is learning how to use his teeth and eat correctly. That's an important stage in life. Exactly. I'm teaching him to chew his food up well before swallowing it. Remember, you can say that someone is learning how to do something, and this doesn't mean it's happening at this exact moment. This is the present continuous, and that just means it's a process. It's not happening right now. We just want to express that it started in the past, it's continuing as a process, and it will finish in the future. Children need to chew up their food before swallowing. To use teeth to break food into smaller parts to swallow easily. The dog chewed up the toy and ruined it. Make sure you chew up your medicine before swallowing it. If you chew something, you're just moving your mouth and using your teeth. We use the word up to express that the food is being divided into smaller pieces. But remember, up can also mean completion or some kind of emphasis. For example, clean up, clean everything, eat up, eat everything, chew up, chew everything. This is just another way we can view the word up. Number 5, cut up. Happy birthday! Thank you so much. Did you get me a cake? Of course. It's right over there. I hope you like it. Oh, it looks delicious. Let's cut it up and eat it. Did you get me a cake means did you buy me a cake? Remember, the word get has a lot of meanings, and here it means buy. Let's cut up the cake. To physically divide something into smaller pieces. The chef cut up the vegetables for the salad. She decided to cut up her credit card to avoid spending too much. We can cut something a little, or we can cut something a lot. If we cut something a little, we just cut it. That's it. It's just the normal verb. But if there are pieces after we cut it a lot. We cut it up. Number 6, chop up. What do you feel like eating for dinner? Not much, just a salad. I like that idea. I'm trying to lose weight. I'll chop up some vegetables then. Feel like doing something is a common and useful structure in English, which means you're in the mood for something or you want something. I'll chop up some vegetables for the salad. To divide something into smaller parts by chopping. He chopped up the logs so they would fit in the fireplace. In the cooking class, they learned how to chop up vegetables quickly. To chop is a verb which is just like cut, but a little stronger and a little faster. We often use this verb in the kitchen. It's the same as cut up, just by chopping instead. Number 7, tear up. The city is getting a new sports team. I'm so excited. Nope, not anymore. What? What happened? There were too many financial problems. The city tore up the contract. Nope is a very casual way to say no. It's the same word, just used with people who are familiar to you. Casual. We have the same thing with yes. Yes is a very formal word. Instead, we can say yeah, yep, or yup, and that's usually with friends. They tore up the contract. To tear or rip something into pieces. After the breakup, she tore up all the letters he had written to her. As a security measure, he tore up the confidential documents after reviewing them. To rip or to tear is very similar to cut, but it's usually with the hands instead of scissors. It can also happen naturally without the hands. Be careful with the pronunciation of tear. Tear up and tear up are spelled the same way, but context is extremely important to understand the difference. Number 8, crack up. The comedy show last night was hilarious. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. You have to listen to this comedian. He's so funny. I was cracking up the whole time. Send me a link to one of his videos. I'll listen to it later. You can enjoy a show in this context, or you can enjoy yourself. It just means you have fun or you have a good time. I was cracking up during the comedy show. To laugh a lot when something is really funny. The comedian's joke was so funny it cracked up the entire audience. She was cracking up during the movie. This phrasal verb is more like an idiom because it's not very clear. Imagine someone is very serious and in a very serious situation. They're not supposed to laugh. Nothing is funny. But then they start to laugh and they can't control it. In English, when this happens, when a serious situation kind of breaks, we say the person cracks. We can see a part of them that we're not supposed to see. So when we laugh hard, we crack up. kind of like we're separating into pieces. We can kind of imagine it like that. As always, thank you so much for watching Everything English with John. This is part 2 of my Phrasal Verbs with Up series, and I left part 1 in the description for you. I release a lot of videos about phrasal verbs with extra expressions and extra vocabulary. Together, we can master phrasal verbs and master the English language. Please like, share, and subscribe, and see you in the next lesson.